Rev up your engines!
B1 says, Scotty, I found a 98 Plymouth Breeze with 62,000 miles for $400. The owner says it was an accident. It runs and drives fine. What's your thoughts? Okay, let's face it. $400 these days is nothing for a car. Absolutely nothing. If you get in it, road test, and it drives fine, what the heck, buy it. I mean, when I was in Boston, I had to pay $500 to rent a car for 5 days, so what the heck? Now, they weren't the greatest cars in the world, but if it runs good and it's not overheating, you don't see it leaking stuff all over the place, what the heck, $400 isn't much money, and if you drive it for even a few months, you're getting your money's worth. And if something like they've got weak transmissions, if it's an automatic, if that goes out, you just junk it. You wouldn't put, $1,500 to $2,500 in the transmission. I mean, what the heck? And if it really has 60,000 miles, it still might last for quite some time. Vittorio DPD says, Scotty, what do you think of Suzuki cars? Well, not much. They pulled out of the United States years ago from bad sales. Here's the thing. I used to have a Suzuki motorcycle. It was a screaming 750 Suzuki race bike. That thing was so fast, it scared me. My wife wouldn't even ride on it. She took one ride and never got on it again. They made killer motorcycles, but their cars, kind of little crappy washing machine vehicles. They never sold big in the United States. They had problems. The parts were expensive. The cars cost a lot to fix, and they did have a lot of problems with their automatic transmissions. I'm not a fan, but from what I get from my fans overseas, they don't mind them. If they live in a place like England where they don't drive much, or Australia where gas costs a lot of people will drive them around, but see there, they drive a lot of standard transmissions, and Americans hate standard transmissions because we're lazy. Automatic transmissions, they're horrible in those cars, but the standards, they can be okay. I wouldn't buy one in the United States, though. You can't get parts for the stupid things anymore. RM says, I got a 2000 Mazda MPV with 250,000 kilometers. It works great, but it eats a lot of gas. I barely get 350 kilometers from a 70-liter tank. There are no engine lights, and the car is great otherwise. Okay, here's the problem. People don't understand that vans are not aerodynamic. Vans are like boxes. You drive a box down the road, it's going to get crappy gas mileage. That's just the way those things are. And especially if you have an MPV that's four-wheel drive, if you go to two-wheel, front-wheel drive to all-wheel or four-wheel drive, it gets worse gas mileage. The only vehicle out there that gets better gas mileage is four-wheel drive, and it doesn't really get gas mileage, is the Tesla. The four-wheel drive one actually gets better electric usage than the two-wheel drive one because of the way they designed it. But for gasoline ones, they always use more gasoline. And you're never going to get good gas mileage out of that thing because they're giant, boxy vehicles. I mean, if you want to make sure there's absolutely nothing wrong with your vehicle, take it to a guy like me. We'll hook up our fancy scan tool that we paid $5,000 for. We'll drive it for only 5-10 minutes. Then we can analyze the data. And I mean, we have hundreds of pages of data to analyze, and we know what to look for. And if we see that that thing is still running close to 100% efficiency, if the equalization rate is like 1.000, it's 100%. Now, I get Toyotas. I had one the other day that still was that way, and it was 18 years old. But then I'll get one sometimes and it'll be 0.998 or 999. It's almost 100% efficiency. If it's still running at that, there's nothing you can do. It's just because it's a square, and they're not going to get good gas mileage. It's just how they go. They can get halfway decent if you're going 60 miles an hour on the highway if they're running right. But in the city, they're always going to get horrible gas mileage. William Andrade says, Scotty, I got an old Lexus ES300 with 200,500 miles on it. How long will it last me? There's no saying if you take care of it. I've seen those things with 500,000 miles on it. My wife's got a 2002, the same thing, but it's only got now 75,000. We bought it with 60. It might outlast us, you know? The world might run out of petroleum before that thing breaks down. They can last an awful long time. That's the best V6 engine Toyota ever made, and if you maintain it and take care of it, there's no saying how long those things can last. The classic joystick says, Scotty, my car is shaking at idle. Any ideas? Okay, your car's shaking at idle. There are a few main things to check. The first thing is check for a vacuum leak. I got a video finding engine vacuum leaks with a cigar. Watch that. If you hear a little sucking noise when it's idling, find it. A hose can come off. A gasket can leak. Also, check the motor mounts. If the motor mounts are bad, it's going to make it shake when it's idling. And I got a video on that, how to replace a bad motor mount. And it shows how you can check them. And the other thing is, if you have a dirty MAF or throttle sensor, that can do it. I've got a video for that that's called Make Your Engine Run Better with a Little Spray Cleaner. Watch that, and it shows you for like $14 for 2 cans of spray cleaner how to clean it yourself. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.